If you have been struggling with a never-ending cycle of collections just dragging your credit score down, trust me, I've been there before too. But here's the hard truth. Unless you use the unparalleled strength of the FCRA and the FDCPA, you might not ever get out that cycle. But luckily for you guys, I'm going to show you the step-by-step process of how to use the FCRA and the FDCPA to help you get better results when you're dealing with collection accounts. And if you don't take this video right here serious, you might be stuck in the endless cycle over and over and over, just like a merry-go-round. And once you watch this video, you can never say that I did not have the information. What I'm going to show you is, I'm going to show you how to remove your collections so you can get your power back, all right? And then if something comes up on your credit, you'll have the power to fix it over and over and over. And I'm going to give you some skills and tips and tricks on how to beat out the nasty debt collector that are doing illegal practices. Let's go. Hey, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. The intro is fire. Let me know if y'all want me to keep it. All right, so what I want to do today is I want to show y'all how to use the FCRA, the FDCPA, and CFPB to help you get better results. Now, if this is your first video that you watch, I want to challenge you to watch at least 10 videos before you get started, because in the comment section, and we got a large comment section, a lot of people are asking questions that we answered in previous videos. But I know you guys want the results, and I know you want them fast, but think about it like this. Think of your credit as a house. Nobody wants a house that can be built in one day, because guess what? The foundation will be messed up. I was gonna say another word, but what we really wanna focus on is achieving the skill of fixing your credit, right? Because once we learn the skill, nobody can ever take that from you. If a collection comes back up, pop back up, you'll know how to handle it. If your cousin got a collection, your brother, your mother, your sister, your father, anybody got a collection, you will know how to handle it. So this is a skill worth learning. And with this skill, we were able to help millions of people across the United States and some in other states as well. So sit back, relax, get your pen, get your paper, and you know you gotta get something to drink. Hold on, my pen, my paper, credit is life. And we about to take some notes. All right, let's go. Okay, what's going on, y'all? So as you already know, me and Dave are on a journey to change everybody's credit, whether they work with us, don't work with us, just looking for information. But this video is going to be a step-by-step play on illegal debt collector practices. Okay, so there's a lot of debt collectors out there that be doing crazy stuff. So there's laws out there to protect you against them. And one of the laws I'm going to go into today is something that happened to me. And if it happens to you, I want you to watch this video, like play it twice. But if it didn't happen to you, I want you to watch this video too, because this video might be able to help you, because you might be in a similar situation, just a little bit different. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to analyze our credit report. You have to do it all the time. Like, I don't care what it is. You know what's on there. You need to know everything that's on there. You need to know every dash that ain't there, every number that is there, because all this stuff is important. And if you don't know your credit, you won't know how to fix it. If you don't know your credit, you won't learn how to use it right. And a lot of people are out here teaching you how to use it wrong. Okay. So first thing first, analyze your credit report. I'm gonna leave a link in the description so you can get your credit report. And I want you to go through it with me. It's gonna look a little bit different, but the concept is the same. All right. So we're gonna just talk about collection accounts. Okay. So on another video I did with this, and I showed you how to spot a collection account. So a collection account normally has an original creditor. People get it mixed up and think that we're the original creditors. You can be an original creditor if you credit somebody some money, all right? Or you credit somebody something, then you can be a creditor. All right, so the account name, account number, original creditor, collection account is past due, is whatever, right? Let's keep going. Let's go down a little bit. I gotta show y'all this. I'm gonna block out some things because this is not my credit report. I don't have any collections, so I just wanted to use one of my clients, okay? All right. So as you can see, there's nothing in the comments, right? That is not a violation. If you send a letter in and then there's nothing in the comments, that is a violation. I'm going to show you that, but that's not what we're going to focus on today. I just want to show you guys some more. I just want to show you guys some tips and tricks to get what you want. And what you really want is a deletion. All right, cool. This company right here, LVNV, again, the original creditor is Credit One Bank. All right. So when you're looking at this account, you know, name, original creditor, blah, blah, blah. Status updated in December. That's actually a violation too. I'll show y'all later on another video. All right. So as you can see, account information disputed by consumer meets requirements of the FCRA. All right. So y'all remember the last collection account did not even have that information. So that means this person was probably disputing before. So if everything doesn't have this right here, then that's a violation of your rights. Now, if you join my community, I can help you out with this. But because I'm not a lawyer, hold on, disclaimer, I'm not a lawyer. I can't give legal advice. I'm not a lawyer. I cannot give legal advice. The only thing I can do is tell you situations that I came across. All right. So if you spot some of these violations, you can try to tackle it yourself, or you can reach out to a consumer lawyer and that lawyer will help you. Okay. But if you want to learn more, we're going to have some place where you guys can learn that's off of YouTube. Okay. So right here, account information disputed by consumer meets the requirements of the FCRA. But when you come here, there's no comments. So that's already a violation. Now, this is illegal, but nobody really talks about it that much. That's why I would be very careful to listen to anybody. But I'm going to show you, I showed you in the other video about how you can handle that, but I'm going to show you something else. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you to the FDCPA and I'm going to show you the violations that I'm about to teach you guys. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go over to the FDCPA and I'm going to show you those violations that I was talking about. Okay, so as I'm going through and I'm going to find this definition for you, I got to tell the story about what happened to me and how I could have used these laws, but I didn't because I didn't know any better at the time. All right, so when I was in the military, I had some collections. Okay, so when I had my collections in the military, the people that I had the debt with used to call my command and they would threaten to call my CO because they knew that if they threatened to call my CO, I could potentially get kicked out of the military. And if I get kicked out, I can no longer provide for my family. So this was one of the legal tactics that they used. And, you know, I just thought that was the way it was supposed to be. But now I know that we have laws that can protect us. So 15 U.S.C. 1692, that is the debt collection code. Okay. But it's C, communication in connection with a debt collector. Okay. All right. So the first thing we're going to look at is we're going to look at A. And I think this is, let me see. All right. So within these laws, they tell you pretty much what you need to know. All right. So we're going to talk about pretty much communications, right? Communications with a debt collector. All right, so I'm going to read this and I'm going to read it in a way that I understand. And if you don't understand, I need you to read it for yourself. Okay, so, all right, so communication with a consumer generally, okay, without prior consent of the consumer given directly to the debt collector. And most of the time we don't talk to these debt collectors. We don't give them anything, right? Or the express permission of a court of competent jurisdiction. Well, they can talk to you if they get permission from a court. Okay. All right. A debt collector may not communicate with a consumer in connection with a collection of any debt. Right. And when I read this, I don't read 1, 2, 3. I read the top part again, and then I put 1, and I read the top part again, and then I put 2. All right. So let's start over with a debt collector may not communicate with a consumer in connection with the collection of any debt at any unusual time or place, or a time or place known or which should be known to be inconvenient by the consumer. Now, I'm going to give y'all a huge play right here. Okay, so if it's an unusual time, unusual place, they cannot contact you. But normally we run from the calls from debt collectors because we assume that if we don't talk to them, they'll just go away. Well, what I'm here to tell you is once you get on the phone with the debt collector, you should be recording your calls. So what I did was I got 2 phones. So when they call me, what I do is I will record the call, and then you tell them it's not a good time or place. It says it right here. At any unusual time or place, or a time or place known or which should be known to be inconvenient. So this part right here, which should be known. So if you tell them that it's an inconvenient time at around this time, they cannot contact you again, but you have to have recordings. All right. So once you have that recording and they violate you, then you will go to a consumer lawyer and then you'll tell them, hey, these people contact me. I told them it wasn't a good time. And they kept calling back at the same time all the time. Okay. All right. In case of absence of knowledge of circumstances to the contrary, right? So if they don't know that's not a convenient time, there's nothing you can do about it. A debt collector shall assume that the convenient time for communicating with a consumer is after 8 o'clock a.m. and before 9 o'clock p.m. So if you don't tell them that it's not a convenient time, then they get to assume that, hey, it's game on between 8 a.m. and 9 p.m. and I'm going to keep calling. That's what they assume, okay? Local time at the consumer's location. So if you're on the East Coast, if you're on the West Coast, they're going to call you between 8 and 9 if you don't tell them not to. All right, let me try to speed through this. I might have to make an in-depth for each one of these so you guys can learn how to write up these violations, okay? So now we go back to the top again. A debt collector may not communicate with a consumer in connection with the collection of any debt if, I'm going to number 2, if the debt collector knows the consumer is represented by an attorney with respect to such debts with debt and has knowledge of or can readily discern such attorney's name and address unless the attorney fails to respond within a period of time. All right, let's just go past that a little bit because we don't really have attorneys. So if the debt collector knows you have an attorney, they can't talk to you directly. But if you don't have an attorney, they can. If you tell the debt collector you do have an attorney, the attorney has to respond back to the debt collector in a good enough period of time to where they can handle the situation. If the attorney's not getting back to the debt collector, they're gonna call you, and that's not a violation. All right. But if they know you got an attorney and they try to talk to you, that's a violation. You can write that up every day. All right, so let's do it one more time. A debt collector may not communicate with a consumer in connection with the collection or any debt at the consumer's place of employment. If the debt collector knows or has reason to know that the consumer's employers prohibits the consumer from receiving such communication. That is it right there. That's what we're going to talk about today. All right, cool. So if you get a phone call and you say, hey, my boss don't like for people to call me at work, this is not a good time. If you record that conversation and they call you at that time again, oh man, you about to get paid. So if they do, you got to have it recorded though. And you got to go to a consumer lawyer, or you can come to somebody maybe like me or jump in our group so I can show you exactly how to handle these situations, because we don't know the laws. Quite frankly, I've been studying in the FCRA and the FDCPA for like 5 to about 7 years now. And I just started practicing this part of it because the FCRA was so long that I didn't even really get to the FDCPA. But without further ado, I'm going to switch screens and I'm going to show you guys how to write up your complaint. All right, family. So I'm at the CFPB website. And if you don't already know, I don't like begging. But if you find this video helpful, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, share it to about 5 people. But I'm going to go ahead and while you're doing that, I'm about to go ahead and I'm going to show you how to file this complaint with the CFPB. But you have to have more than one method of disputing, right? So if you don't have Dispute Panda already, it's going to be in the description. It's to help you facilitate your written disputes. So me and Dave always practice written disputes and then CFPB disputes. And then if that don't work, we have all our evidence and then we'll go to a consumer lawyer, or we'll just do it ourselves and go to court. All right, so let me show you, start a new complaint. You already know that. I'm already got an account, so I'm going to skip this and you just create your own account. All right, guys, while this is loading up, oh, okay, we good. All right, so same thing, I'm gonna show you how to do it. I'm gonna write up a little verbiage and then, don't copy it word for word, just get the general knowledge of what I'm trying to say and then you put it in your own words. But if you have trouble like writing something up, you can use Dispute Panda or something like that. That's an AI powered software tool that can help you. All right, so what we're going to do is we're talking about debt collections today. All right, either one of these in the comments, let me know what y'all got. Auto, credit card, medical. I'm gonna do medical because that I just don't like when debt collectors be buying medical debts up and to be harassing people. Like a credit card, that's your fault. Auto debt, that's your fault. Student loans, your fault. Everything else is your fault. A lot of these medical debts, people be having insurance, but they don't be doing the right things with it. What type of problem are we having? We might be having a communication problem today, but let me read through all these real quick. Oh, okay. So threaten to contact someone or share information improperly. We got them. Okay, cool. So they calling my place of work. I already told them. So I told them not to contact me. So this applies. But I want you guys to read all these so you can pick the one that best serves you, okay? All right. Oh, it's just like the laws. Oh my God. Okay, cool. So in the laws, they stated 1, 2, 3. So you just get to pick one. Talk to a third party about your debt? Nah. Oh, then they got commanding officer up there. All right. Contact you instead of your attorney. Contact you after you ask them to stop. I told them to stop. Have you already tried to fix this problem? Yeah, I sent my letters through Dispute Panda. It's easy. I just clicked the, you know, I disputed through Dispute Panda, you know, I just clicked the buttons and it did its thing. All right. So what happened? As y'all already know, what I'm going to do is I read y'all the laws. I'm going to use some of the laws and I'm just going to write it up myself. It should be easy. It's your story. All you got to do is tell it. Just make sure that you have enough information from the debt collector to where you could just put it in here. Okay. So dates and stuff is very important. So you want to put your dates in here. You want to actually, this should be the most important letter that you ever going to write. So I want you to take your time with it. If it takes you less than 5 minutes, you're probably doing it wrong. Okay. Woo! All right. So I wrote a bunch of stuff, man. I kind of got carried away, but most importantly, I use my own words and I use my own voice. If you guys see somebody like copying my stuff, like word for word, I want you guys to screenshot and send it over to me on Instagram. I'm going to drop my Instagram so you guys can follow me as well. Yeah, because a lot of copycats out there are going to get people in trouble. And I just want people to know this information, but I want them to learn it from somebody who's implemented it, okay? If somebody's copying and they really don't know, then they're a cancer to the community. So I want you guys to unsubscribe to them if they copying my stuff. And I want you guys to let me know. You just follow me on Instagram, okay? Cool. So I'm going to walk you through it and I'm going to like go back and forth so I can show you as well, okay? So I'm in need of help because I'm being harassed by a debt collector who is repeatedly calling me after I told them it was an inconvenient time to call me. Okay, cool. All right. But they didn't stop there. I have a recording of me telling them that it's a bad time to call me. That's going to be your evidence. I also have screenshots of them calling at the same time of day, day after day, making me feel uncomfortable. Emotional stress. Cool. All right. So I looked up this law, 15 USC 1692, which is the FDCPA. Now that we know what the FDCPA is and we said it, now we good. All right. And in section 1692 CA1, it says, boom, boom, boom. I didn't guess. Just went over here. CA1. At an unusual time, they automatically assume that after 8 a.m. and 9 p.m. is a good time to call you unless you tell them. But we already told them already because we was at work when they called us. Cool. All right. Which means that, all right, you guys can read that. Which means that if I told them that it's not a good time, they should know that the time they call was inconvenient. Like you can't tell me that you didn't know after I told you and I recorded it. All right. Boom. They also violated me again under the FDCPA. Ooh, how did they violate us? Okay, cool. Because I told them that I cannot take personal calls at work and they continue to call, which is a violation of 15 USC 1692 CA3. And I know y'all know I gotta show y'all. So 15 USC 1692 C, okay. A, we come down here to 3. It's still highlighted for y'all. And I just put it in there. Boom, boom, boom at the bottom. And I'm just gonna leave it like that. I want the CFPB to publish it, whatever. Delete this account from Reddit. Cool. So this is your time to really attach all your documents. Screenshot what you got, the calls, the whims, I don't know if you'll be able to put recorders in here. I didn't have to do that. The screenshots worked enough. All right, well, I ain't got nothing to upload, so y'all upload y'all stuff here. All right. I'm not going to do the other steps because Dave did these other steps so much that I don't think I need to do it. If you don't know how to do it, you got to watch at least 10 videos. All right. Go back and watch 10 videos. The most watched videos, go watch them because they got the answers for y'all. And if you need help, you can just comment down below. We'll help y'all as best we can. Just know it's only 2 of us, so we can't respond to the 4 million people we helped so far. We will be trying to respond to more people and hire more staff because this thing is getting way bigger than we thought it was. All right, cool. So with that being done, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.